Hello guys, welcome to this insane WhatsApp clone build. So let's get started. So first of all, you have to install Node in your system, which is very easy to install. You just Google it. After installing a Node, create a folder named WhatsApp clone and open this folder in Visual Studio Code, the code editor that we are going to use today. As soon as we are in the Visual Studio Code, press Ctrl J on Windows or Command J on Mac. Then terminal will be open at the bottom of the screen. Now we are in the terminal. Now we can install and set up React app, which is usually a headache when doing manually. So Facebook, the creator of the React, made a script which install and set up React app without any type of headache. So to use that script, type this command in your terminal. So npx create React app, then dot. Basically, dot represents the current directory. If you want to create a new folder, provide a name instead of this dot. Then press and enter. So this will set up and install React app. And this takes some time. So while that's happening, let's head over to Firebase thing. So for Firebase, open Chrome, and type firebase.google.com and then press and enter. After that, click on go to console and add a project named WhatsApp clone and then continue default account for Firebase and create a project. Our Firebase project is now ready. Our app is a web app, so click on this web button and provide a nickname. So I provide WhatsApp clone and allow this and register our app. Next, 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 and continue to console. So Firebase thing is completely complete. Now let's head over to our project. This will take some times, so be there. Now our React app is perfectly set up. Now we can start our app. So for to get start our app, type npm start in terminal. This will run our project. As you can see, our Chrome is pop up now. With URL localhost 3000. So this is the welcome screen of our React app. So one of the key thing to consider in React is the navigation of the user. As you know, React is a single page application. It doesn't support default navigation system. So there is a package called React Router DOM which allow us to create new routes for our React project, and it is not a lot complicated. Setting up is one time. After that, whenever you want to add a new page, you just need to inform React Router means router. So for that, let's get started. So first of all, we have to install React Router DOM. So for that, npm I React Router DOM. This will install the React Router DOM. So wait for that. While that's happening, let's clean up our directory. So first of all, we have to delete all the test files and logo. So delete this app.test.js, logo.svg and setup, and then delete and save. As you can see, error pop up. Then after, go to app.js and remove this header component and save it, and also remove this import and save it. Okay, now our npm means React Router DOM is installed. So we have to import some dependencies to use React Router DOM. So first of all, we have to import browser router as router, then routes, and then route from React Router DOM and save it. After that, we have to wrap router to our app. So wrap it. So router allows means it allows to route to different pages. And inside this app container, we have to create routes. So inside routes, it little bit complicated or confusing, but it's very simple after you understand and the syntax. So routes, and inside this routes component, you are going to declare different routes like home page, login page, sign up page, etc, etc. So for that, we have to create a route and close it and provide a path named slash. For default path, provide slash and then element. Inside element and curly braces and provide element. So I provide h1 home page and save it. Okay, curly braces here and save it. What the hell is happening? Sorry, I provide and save it. Refresh it. You can see home pages appear. Similarly for our chat page, so I here chat page and type chat page and save it. So when you go to chat page, you can see, oh, chat page, you can see chat page Okay, now routing is finished. Now we have to create a home component, means home page and chat page. So for that we have to create a component, sorry, and inside that component create home.js, and for styling home.css. Similarly for chat page, so chat page.js and chat page.css, and save it. After that, there is an extension named es7. You have to install it because it provides you shortcuts for boilerplates. For example, if you are going to use React component, so you just need to type RFCE and then press an enter. This will create a whole boilerplate with names. So it's very useful extensions in React. So after installing and creating the component in home.js, provide a class name and home. Then after, write home page, save it. Similarly for chat page, RFCE, and then chat page, provide class name chat page, and save it. After that, go to app.js, and instead of this h1 tag, type home, and import that home component. So automatically it import from components folder. Basically this home.js is this. Similarly for chat page, and save it. So as you can see, chat pages appear. Now that's it for routing, guys. Now we are going to build an home page for our WhatsApp clone. So for that, go to home.js and do that I do. So first of all, here we are going to create a container named home container. Press and enter. And inside that container, there is a sidebar and a container with WhatsApp logo. Okay. So first of all, we have to create a sidebar here. So for that, create sidebar.js in components folder and sidebars.css for styling. Now go to sidebar.js and type RFCE for boilerplate, and then enter. Provide a class name sidebar. Now type something like h1 sidebar and save it. Now import this sidebar here in home.js to use that sidebar. Sidebar. Okay, and control dot space and press enter. It automatically import, and you can see there is a sidebar appear in our Chrome. Now go to that sidebar and make actual sidebar of WhatsApp. So for that, you have to create a sidebar header. So sidebar header, and inside that header there is an image of user. So div.sidebar.header.image, press and enter, and inside that image tag having image.user.png. Here is the image that I downloaded and pasted in public folder. Okay, and save it. Then after, you can see the image is appear. After that, there is a three buttons in header. For that, div.sidebar header btn, press and enter. So for icons, we are going to use material UI here. So type material UI in Google and material UI. Copy this and paste it in a terminal and press and enter. This will install the material UI in our system or in our project, not in our system, in our project, React project. After installing this, we are going to install one another different material UI package for icons only. So for that, go to icons and copy this command. And okay, then paste it here and install it. This is for only icons, and this is for base, material UI base. Okay, after that, we are going to use three icons here. First is tool icon. So search here tool icon. So here, by click on it and copy this and import it here. Then after, we are going to use insert comment icon. Insert comment icon, copy this and import it here. And there is another image called more vertical and copy this and paste it. Now we have imported all the three icons. Now we can use that. So tool icon, insert comment icon and more vert icon. As you can see, wait a second, it's compiling. So after compiling, you can see here three icons. Now we are going to the styling part. So you can see here the icons are appeared. Now we are going to styling part. So for that, go to sidebar.css. Sidebar.css and type sidebar mean width 300 pixel, width 30%, border right 1 pixel, solid light gray, height 100%, display flex direction column, position relative, and background color hashtag FAFA, sorry, hashtag FAFAFA and save it. After that, wait a second. After that, sidebar header height 50 pixel, padding 5 pixel, 5 pixel, 0, 5 pixel and 10 pixel. Save it. Background color hashtag ed. Save it. Here is the thing. I did not import CSS file. First of all, we have to import the CSS file sidebar.css and save it. Okay. Now display flags, align item center, justify content, space between and position relative. After that, for image, sidebar dot header dot image and width 42 pixel. Save it. Now dot sidebar header image width 100%. Okay, as you can see here, our sidebar is now appearing. Cursor pointer and save it. Now for buttons, dot sidebar header btn display flex, align item center, justify content space evenly and width 150 pixel. Okay, color hashtag 51585C. Save it. Okay, now this is for sidebar. Now we have to change the fonts of the icons. So for that, sidebar header btn dot multi muisvg icon root font size 23 pixel. Okay, now font sizes are changed and everything is good now for start. But we now here you can see the profile picture is square. We have to round it. So border radius 100%. That's it, guys. That's it for header. Now we have to build search bar here. So for that, div dot sidebar search, and inside that there is another div named sidebar bar search input. Inside that there is an icon named search icon in material UI. Search icon, control space. Okay, we have to import it. So for that, copy this, paste it here, type search icon, and search icon, save it. Okay, it's not there. Wait a second. Okay, only search, not icon. Save it. Compiling. Okay, you can see the search icon is there. Now input. Now input tag, text, type text, name search, placeholder search dot, and okay, save it. Okay, that's it for search bar. Now go to styling part here. Now dot sidebar search, width 60 pixel, sorry, height 60 pixel, display flex, align item center, justify content center, background color F6, and save it. Now dot sidebar search input, width 100%, display flex, align item center, justify content center. Okay, no, not a justify content center, as it is. Now height 30 pixel, background color FFF, sorry, width 90%. Okay, background color FFF, border 1 pixel, solid light gray, save it, and border radius 10 pixel. Now for icon dot sidebar search input dot muisvg root, font size 18 pixel, color AC, save it, and margin left 10 pixel. Okay, now for input tag dot sidebar input background color transparent border none, outline none, margin left 10 pixel, sorry 6 pixel, margin bottom 2 pixel, width 80%. What the hell is this? Okay, as you can see here, everything is now good. Search bar is ready. Now we are going to create a checklist for our user. So div dot sidebar chat list and enter. Inside that list there will be more users. So for that we have to create a user profile component. In that component there is an image and name of the user. So for that we have to create another component named user profile.js, and again user profile.css. Okay, now rfce and enter. Input css file for user profile.css and save it, and type user profile. Okay, now import it here, user profile in sidebar.js and save it. Okay, user profile is there now. Now inside that user profile we are going to create a user's profile. So for that provide a class name here, provide class name named user profile, and inside that user profile there will be going an image of user and name of user. Okay, so first of all we have to create a image of user. So for that div dot user image and then image. Okay. Now right now we are going to use user.png and save it. Then the name. So for name we are going to create user info in which there is a name, user, oh sorry, class name user name. Now provide a name, so I provide John Cena, and save it. Now go to the styling part for user profile.css. Now first of all we have to styling the user profile container. So for that provide class name user profile and inside that display flex, align item center, padding 10 pixel, border bottom 1 pixel, solid light gray. Save it. and cursor pointer. After that, user image width 45 pixel, and then user image tag with 100%. Okay, you can see here. Now go to now for user info. Flex1, basically flex1 represented cover the remaining space, and then text align left and margin left 10 pixel. Okay. Now for user name, text transform capitalize and font size 15 pixel. Okay. Now for image, border radius 100%. Okay, that's it. Again, some styling, user profile, hover effect, color light gray, background color light gray. So you can see here light gray. Boom. That's it for user profile. Now you can use only this thing to multiple times for multiple user. Okay, but we are going to pass here name like John Cena, and image also. For image, I'll type photo URL and provide dot png, oh sorry, user dot png. Now we are going to use these props here in user profile.js. For that, inside these braces or bracket, not braces, put braces and type name and photo URL. And instead of this name here, put name and save it. As you can see, there is only in one container name is there and others have not. Similarly for image, so simply braces and put photo URL and save it, as you can see here. Now similarly for second user, I type The Rock, save it, name appear, and now photo URL, I type user.png. Okay, this is the working of properties in component based programming. Okay, now chat list is complete, but we have to do some styling in this chat link. For example, if there is more users, like multiple, save it. Now as you can see here, the whole page is scrolled down here. We want only to scroll this container only. So for that, go to sidebar, means sidebar.css, and inside sidebar checklist flex 1 to cover the remaining height, and display flex direction column, and overflow y scroll. Okay, and save it. As you can see, the scroll bar appear. Now we have to stop overflow, means we have to hide overflow in home.js, means home page. So go to home.css, and inside that provide this properties or styling. So in home container, provide width 100 vw, height 100 vh, display flex direction column, align item center, justify content center, background color D7 DB D6, and save it, and Z index 100, and position relative. Okay, after that, for home container, width 100%, height 100%, mean width 1366 pixel, and Z index 100. Okay, wait a second. What is happening here? And display flex. Save it. Okay, what's the problem now? Sorry, max height. Here max height, not mean width, max width. Okay, as you can see, everything is now completely work. The scroll bar, everything. Okay, now our sidebar is completely ready. Close the sidebar, user profile.js, user profile and sidebar.js. Now we have to put a container with WhatsApp logo here. So for that, go to home.js and create a container named div.home background, means home bg background, and then copy this image tag. Okay, I will provide all the images in link in description, and copy this image in public folder only, otherwise it won't work. Then after, type whatsapp bg.png, and save it. As you can see here, the images appear. Now we have to style that image. So for styling, Go to home.css, home.css, and type home bg for home background, flex 1, background color fa, save it, z index 100, height 100%, display flex, align item center, and justify content center. Now in for image, home.bg image width 300 pixel and margin auto for to center the image, margin auto. Okay, now our home page is now completely ready. Now we are going to add some detailing here, exactly same as original WhatsApp web. So for that, first of all, we have to use media queries here. Media only screen and mean width 1367 pixel. So whenever the inner window height goes greater than 1367 pixel, this style happens. Width, sorry, height 95%. Okay, now because as you can see here in big screen, so here the width are small 95%, height are small 95%, as you can see here, not width. So and this the thing that we are do in media queries, did in media queries, sorry. Now for some more detail, here we are going to add pseudo element width 100 bw, height 222 pixel, background color 4EC0A5, save it, position absolute, z index -1, and contain empty string. Okay, this is the thing that we are going to use. Now when you do zoom out, okay, one another thing I forgot to add, top 0, top 0. Now you can see in full screen, yes, and this is responsive, as you can see here. So whenever the it increase, and you can see here, this is the main thing which are exactly similar to original WhatsApp clone. Now our sidebar, now our home page are completely ready. So now we are going to build a chat page for our WhatsApp clone, which is exactly look like this. So here this is the chat page. There is a sidebar, and that this is the chat container. So inside this chat container, we are going to build this header component, then this chat list component, and this input field. So for that, let's head over to chatpage.js file. So open chatpage.js. inside that, so first of all we have to navigate to chat page. So chat page. Okay. Inside this chat page we are going to build a sidebar, then this, then chat container, or you can say a chat display. So first of all we have to import the sidebar here. So sidebar, and import it and save. So as this refresh, okay, it's compiling. Okay, you can see here there is a sidebar in chat page. Now we are going to build a chat container for our JS, or sorry, for our website. So for that, go to components folder and create a chat container file named chat container.js and chat container.css. .css. Remember, always capital the first letter for components. Now go to chatcontainer.js and type RFCE for boilerplate and then press and enter. Now provide name. So I class name. I provide chat container and type here chat container and save it. Now import CSS file here, chat container, sorry, chat container.css and save it. After that, import that chat container here. So chat container and import it and save it. So as you can see, the chat container is now up here. So first of all we have to apply some CSS on chat page.css. So for that, open chat page.css and for chat page, for chat page width 100 VW, height 100 VH, display flex direction column. Okay, wait a second, here I made a mistake here. We have to put this sidebar and this chat container in a container named chat page container. So I made a mistake here. Put this sidebar and this thing in this and save it. Okay, so flex direction column, align item center, justify content center, background color D7, DB, D6. Save it. Sorry, Z index 100 and position relative and save it. Now apply pseudo element for this container called before. Width 100 VW, height 222 pixel, background color 4EC0A5 and save it. Position absolute, sorry, position absolute, top 0, z index -1, and contain empty string, and save it. As you can see here. Okay, now everything is good. Yes, everything is good. Okay, we have to import chat page css here in chatpage.js and save it. Now all the css things are up here. It took some gibberish here, but it will. Okay, now go to chatpage.container with 100%, height 100%, okay, and max width 1366 pixel. Sorry, 1366 pixel. Z index 100 and display flex and save it. Okay, now everything is done. Now we have to make chat container here. So for that, first of all, we have to create a header component like this where the user image and his names are appear, his or her. So for that, we have to create a container name chat container header. Inside that there is an user info. So chat user info. Inside this there is an image of user. So chat user img. Inside this there is an image. Okay, so user dot png, and then the name of the user. So I type John Cena, for example. Okay, after that we are going to use a icon here for more icon, means vertical barbecue in my language. So for that, create a container name chat container header btn, and type more vert icon. And for icons we are going to use material UI. So for that, for more what, import this and save it. As you can see, okay, what's the matter here? Cannot find material. Okay, sorry, here we are going to use MUI icons material and save it. Okay, it seems good now, and the icon is appear here. Now we have to do some styling for this header. So for that, open chat container.css, and we have to import this css file here. So chat container.css and save it. Now we have to do some styling for header. So for that, first of all, we have to style chat container min width 348 pixel, flex 1 to cover the remaining space, and display flex and flex direction column, and save it. Now head over to header. So chat container header, display flex, align item center, height 50 pixel, padding 5 pixel, 0 pixel, 10, 5 pixel and 10 pixel. Background color hashtag #ED and save it. Align item center and justify containing space between. After that, now for user info container, display flex, flex direction row for more specification, and align item center. Text transform, okay, text transform capitalize. After that, for image, so chat user image width gonna be 44 pixel, margin right 15 pixel and left 10 pixel. Now for actual image, with 100%, border radius 100%. Now you can see here everything is good. You can see this gibberish thing here, but it is okay. Now for buttons, dot chat container header btn, margin right 5 pixel or 20 pixel, 20 pixel. Okay. I think we should put only 10 pixel here. Okay, now our header is ready. Now we are going to build here a chat list, or you can say chat display container, and chat input container. So for chat display container, create a container named chat display. Okay, chat display container, and press enter. Now we have to create, inside this we have to create a chat message. So for that, first of all, we have to do some styling in this container. So for that, go to .chat display container. Inside this, we are going to use a flex 1 to cover the remaining space here until the end of the screen. So then, okay, display flex direction column to arrange the chats in a column, overflow by scroll. and then background color hashtag ECE5DD and save it. Okay, wait a second. We do okay. Now you can see the chat container is ready. Now we are going to build a chat message container like this. You can see here there is a time and message. So for that we are going to create a new component named chat message.js, and for styling chat message.css. So for now go to chat message.js and type RFC boilerplates, provide class name chat message, and for this we are going to use here a new now we are going to create a container where chat going to display chat message text, and here we are going to type hi, how are you. Now after this we are going to create a container for date. So chat message date, and inside this p tag, okay, here we are going to use a p tag, so p hi, how are you, and here we are going to use p tag again for date. So type current date, for example 14/12/2021, and save it. Now we have to import this chat container, chat message container in this display container. So chat message and import it and save it. So now you can see here the message is appear. Now we have to do some styling. So first of all we have to import this CSS file here, chat message.css, save it. Now do some styling here. So chat message.css. So now for chat message display flex, margin top 15 pixel, or otherwise we can use a short way, margin 15 pixel for top, 13 pixel for left or right, 15 pixel for bottom, and 13 pixel for left. Now flex direction column, position relative, width feature contain, max width 400 pixel, padding 10 pixel, background color hashtag DC F8 C6, border radius 10 pixel, and height feature content. Now for message, chat message text, text align left, text align left, font size 13 pixel, and margin bottom 10 pixel, and save it. Okay, now for date, so chat message dot date, font size 11 pixel, color gray, font width normal, and align self flex end. As you can see, our chat message container is now ready, but we are going to use here a props for messages, props for time, etc. So for that, first of all, we type message here and type hello, how are you, and timestamp or time, and type 14/12/2021 current date. Now we pass here a props. Now we have to use that props in chat message here. So we have to import that, means we have to call that props like message here and time, and we have to use this message here, name message, save it. Okay, as you can see, message is changed now, and time here, and save it. Okay, everything is good now. Now our message and our chat container is ready to use. This is, you can use it multiple times. So now we are going to build a chat input, means this chat input element section for our WhatsApp group. So now we have to create a div named chat input. Inside that chat input there is a three section. One is buttons and text element or text input element. Third is a button, send button, send button. Now first of all we have to create these button sections. So div chat input btn, and inside that btn we are going to use two icons from material UI, insert emote icon from @MUI icons material, insert emote icon, and save it. Second is import attach file icon from @MUI attach file, and save it. Now put that icon here and like insert emote icon. You can see here the emoji icon are appear now. And second is our attach file icon and save it. Okay, now we have to create a text input. So for that we are going to use a form element, clear this action, and inside that form we are going to use input text, placeholder is type a message and save it. After that we are going to use create a button here, div dot chat input btn send btn, save it. Now we are going to use send icon, send icon. Now import it. Now we have to import that icon, control C, control V, send icon, send icon, and save it. Okay, there is some problem here, I imported it wrong. So okay, send only, save it. Wait a second, it compiling. Okay, now you can see here the send icon are appear now. Now we have to do some styling here. So first of all, chat input display flex, align item center. Okay, padding 12 pixel, background color hashtag f0 f0 f0, save it, and position relative. After that, chat input btn margin right 13 pixel, margin left 13 pixel, and save it. And after that, for icons, chat input dot mui svg icon. This is the class name of the icons that we are going to use. We are used font size 26 pixel, and save it. Color gray, and cursor pointer, and save it. Okay, and provide a margin right of 10 pixel. Okay, after that now we have to styling for form. So chat input form flex 1 to cover the remaining space. Okay, now for input element inside form, height 35 pixel, border radius 15 pixel, border none, outline none, padding left 10 pixel, width 90%. Okay, and margin right 10 pixel. Okay, after that, now for chat input send button, background color hashtag 128 C7E, save it, width 35 pixel, height 35 pixel, border radius 100%. Okay, wait a second, I did not okay, here I want to provide send btn and save it. So as you can see, now display flex, align item center, justify contains sorry justify contain center to center the element, and color gonna be white. Okay, now for the size of button we are going to use MUISVG font size 22 pixel and save it. Okay, so our text input element is now ready. Now there is a question here. So how to grab the message that we type inside this input element? So for that we are going to use a state here. Means we are going to use a use state hook which allow us to have a state variable inside the functional component. Now to use state variable we have to import it from React. So use state. In simple words, use state is a way to declare a variable in React. So use state consists of two things. One is a value itself, and second is a function which updates the value. For example, so const, we are going to declare a message variable here. So message, this is the value, and this is set message, to set the message or to update the message. And use state, and this is here we are going to provide the initial value, mean or default value. So here we provide empty string. Now we declare the variable. Now we have to provide that variable a value. So to provide this, so here we are going to use a value attribute inside input tag and type message. Means value is equals to message. After that, whenever you type, the value inside this text element change. So for to keep a track of that change, we are going to use on change attribute. On change attribute, which detect the changes happen inside this input element. So on change, and inside this we are going to grab the message. So for that we are going to declare a function. Inside that function we can console.log and type e. Here e means the current element dot target dot value. Value means this value. Here e is this input element. We target that element, and inside that there is a value. This value is equals to this. So now we save it and open console. So here you can say, see, whenever I type hi, so it change, but it doesn't keep a track here. Inside console it tracks. So to get a track, we have to set that message inside this variable and type e dot target. Basically we assign the value to the message variable. In simple words, we assign a value to this message variable. Now save it and look, it's up here, hi, and also keep a track. So whenever it's changed, it updates the value inside this message attribute, or sorry, message variable. So this is the use state. Basically use state is a simple way to declare variable in React, or state variable in React. Now we grab the message inside this. Now we have to make this emoji button clickable. Means whenever we click on this emoji button, the emoji containers open. So for that we are going to use a package named emoji picker react. This is the package. So now we have to install that packet. So copy this and install it now inside our project. Wait a second and Control Shift V and install it. This is a packet which have this container, or it's have various emojis inside it. So wait for it to install. So how to use? So first of all we have to import this picker from its actual package. So we import it. Now we are going to use that. So for that we keep it above these buttons and type picker and save it. As you can see, okay, refresh, oh sorry, here refresh, and you can see here the emoji, but emoji container are up here now. So it's refreshing, emoji container are up here now. Now we have to style that, or we have to position it very precisely inside our chat container. So for that, go to chat container.css. Inside there, and this emoji container has a class name of emoji picker react, and inside this type position absolute and provide important tag. Now top minus 325 pixel and save it. So as you can see, it's completely precisely positioned. Now we have to open this emoji container when we click on this emoji button. So for that we have to declare a variable, or we have to create a switch which keep a track of on and off, or true or false. So on const open emoji box and set open emoji box. The initial value is true, false means it is disappear, or the box is off. So type false here and save it. So now we here going to use some logic, or ternary operators like this. So when open emoji box is true, then the picker going to appear. Okay, so here the picker is now disappear, as you can see here. Now we have to make a switch. So whenever we click on this button, it true or becomes false, or whenever it is false, it becomes true. So for that, we are going to use on click function. So whenever we click on this insert emoji icon, on click it, and function provider function, and tell it emoji set open emoji box to opposite of current value, open emoji box, and save it. So whenever you click on this button, it appears, and when again you click on it, it disappears. This is the switch here. This is the switch. Okay, now we want to grab this emoji. So whenever we click on the particular emoji, it appears inside this text box. So for that, this emoji picker react package provide a function named on emoji, sorry, on emoji click, provide a function called on emoji click, and these functions provide two properties or two attributes. First is an event, and second is a emoji object, and we have to set that emoji inside the message variable. We have to store this emoji inside the message variable. Okay, message variable. So for that, we are going to use a set message and set message the current value of message plus, oh sorry, I mistyped, message plus emoji object dot emoji, and save it. Now test it. Okay, you can see here the emoji are appearing now inside the text box. That's it for this chat input element. Now we are going to make a logging function or authentication in our WhatsApp clone. So now we are going to create a logging functionality in this WhatsApp clone build. So for that, first of all, we have to create a use state, means state for our user. So for that, type const user set user is equals to use state, and save it. Okay, so we have to import the use state and save it. Now here we are going to use some logic here. For example, if user exists, then these routes are going to appear for chat page and home page, etc. Otherwise, the logging page is going to appear. So I have created here a logging page with our function and type logging page. Okay, and save it. So we have to import that logging page here and save it. So as you can see here, logging pages appear. So here the user is not defined. So we have to create, first of all, we have to design our logging page, then we have to sign in, then the user defined. Understand? Okay, so for that, first of all, we have to create a logging page here. So now inside the logging page, we have to create a logging container here, logging container, and inside that container there is an image of WhatsApp clone, WhatsApp. So I have imported it here in our put it in here in a public folder. So WhatsApp logo and copy. Okay, then type WhatsApp. Remember, put all the image in public folder, otherwise it not going to work. So now you can see here the image is up here. Now we are going to create a logo, means a name of WhatsApp. So I type WhatsApp web and save it. After that, there is a button for signing with Google. So I provide a class name, type logging button btn, and inside that there is an image of Google. So image of Google, so Google logo, I copy it here, and now dot Google logo dot png and save it. Logging with Google. Okay, alternate button. Now provide a name here, logging with Google, and save it. Now we have to do some styling here. So first of all, import logging.css file. Now we have to do some styling here. So logging display flex direction column, height 100 vh, background color RGB 240 and save it. Position relative z index 100 and overflow hidden. Save it. Now do some sudo element before width 100 VW, height 222 pixel, background color hashtag 4EC0A5. Save it. Position absolute, top 0, and contain empty string. Now you can see here some colors are appear now. Now we have to do some styling for logging container. So logging container background color hashtag FFF, width 400 pixel, margin auto, height 400 pixel, display flex, align item center, justify content center, flex direction column, border radius 8 pixel, and box shadow going to be copy this because it is also from generators for shadow. And now we have to do some styling for images. Now logging logo with 150 pixel, height 150 pixel, margin bottom 20 pixel. Now original image logging logo, sorry, now for name, font size 17 pixel, font weight 500, and margin bottom 20 pixel. Now for button dot logging button btn display flex, align item center, height 40 pixel, width 200 pixel, justify content center, border none, outline none, background color hashtag 00755A, save it, color hashtag FFF, font size 15 pixel, border radius 5 pixel, cursor pointer, save it. Now for image logging btn image with 20 pixel, margin right 10 pixel. Okay, now for styling provide class name here. I didn't provide it, so logging logo and save it. Okay, logging logo, everything is now good. Now provide z index here 100 pixel, 100. Okay, so it looks nice. Now we have to apply some hover effect for this button. So for that, logging btn hover background color hashtag 005541 and save it. So whenever the cursor goes, you can see the background color is changed now. Now we have done with logging page. So now we are going to do authentications with Google. So for that, go to Firebase project setting, in project setting go to general, and at the bottom click on this config and copy this. After that, create a file named firebase.js. I have already created it, so firebase.js. Inside that, copy this and install npm I firebase version 8. Okay, so we have to install this Firebase version inside our project because it is very easy to use. After installing, import Firebase here, import Firebase from Firebase. Okay, Firebase. After installing, we have to initialize this Firebase app. So for that, create a const app is equals to Firebase dot initialize app Firebase config. Okay, this is basic syntax, or it is a copy from documentation. After that, we have to create a auth for authentication, Firebase dot auth. Now for database const db Firebase dot sorry for database app dot firestore. Now for Google, we have to create a Google provider here. So Google provider and Firebase, new Firebase dot auth dot Google auth provider and save it. Now we have to export this. So export auth and Google provider and export default db and save it. Now Firebase things are complete. Now go to login page and we have to create a function to logging with Google. So for that, create a function called signing with Google. Inside that, we have to use auth from our Firebase dot signing with pop up, in which we are going to use Google provider. After signing, then means after signing happen, then this then functions are going to run. It gives some result and we have to store that result in a new user form. This is the user structure that we are going to use. So full name is equals to result dot user in display name. After that, email going to be result dot user dot email, then photo URL is equals to result dot user dot photo URL. After that, we want to navigate to, means whenever this process complete, we want to navigate to home page. So for that, we are going to use navigate hook of React router DOM. So first of all, we have to import that hook, use navigate from React router DOM. So const navigate is equals to use navigate and okay. So for that, we are going to use here inside then, okay, navigate to home page. After that, we want to set our user in this state variable. So we have to pass this set user function as a prop. So set user is equals to set user. Okay, we pass this set user function as a prop inside this logging component. So now we are going to logging, we are destructured the prop here and say set user here. Now after that we are going to set user and type new user. So we set our user now. Now we have to add our user inside our Firestore, inside our Firestore database. So for that we are going to use DB. DB means our database. Inside that DB we are going to create here collections of user, means a folder. Collection is a similar type of folder. So we create a folder or collection. Inside that collection we are going to store this doc. Doc means one type of object. Understand? Doc means one type of object. We give a name here, result dot user dot email. So we use email as a name. So result dot user dot email, and inside that documentation, inside that document we are going to set our this new user object. So type new user. Okay, this is simple. Then save it. So basically DB is a database. Inside that database we are going to create a collection or a folder name of users. Inside that user we are going to create a document of name, user's email, and we have to set this object inside that document. Okay, this is simple. After that we going to use sketch function if some errors are occur. So error and alert error dot message and save it. Everything is fine now. Now we have to assign button here like this, on click signing with button. So whenever we click on this button, this function here is going to run. So now we are going to run the button. So click on this button. Okay, cannot access auth before initialization. So we are going to do some here wrong things. Save it and refresh it again. Click on this. Okay, the pop-ups are coming. Now click on the user and as you can see we are directly navigate to home page. So our logging functionalities are perfectly run. If you want to see that our logging function, so console.log user, you are going to see here the user is exist. So I here console it and you can see the objects are coming here with your name and email ID and the image or user image. Now so whenever you refresh it go back to logging page. So we have to stop that. So for that here we are going to use local storage to store some data here, to store some users information until we are going to delete that information. So for that go to logging page. So whenever we click on the signing, click on the button, we are going to store the user information inside the local storage. So for that we are going to use local storage dot set item, and we call that item as a user. As you know here, local storage accept data in the form of strings only. So we have to convert this object into string. So for that, we are going to use a JSON function here, json.stringify our new user. Understand here? Okay. So here we stored our information here. So whenever you log in, so I again click on the login with Google. Now logged in. You can see here inside application. Okay, this is not okay. Where, wait a minute, something is wrong here. Okay, you can see here our users are stored in local storage. Now we have to access that data from local storage and initialize and provide initial value in this state variable. So for that, we are going to provide here a json dot parse json dot parse. As you know, the local storage stores data only in the form of string, so we have to convert that string in the form of object. So if then convert it local storage dot get item, we named it user, and save it. Okay, so we pass the initial value. So if the user present in the local storage, it initialize the value. Okay, so now we are going to refresh, and you can see here we did not go back to logging page. If I remove, you can see, if I remove that data, this user data from our local storage and refresh, you can see here we get back to logging page. Understand, this is the logging functionality in our WhatsApp flow. Now after logging, after logging after logging, we want here our user's image, our current user image. So for that, go to sidebar.js and remove this plenty of user profile here, save it. Okay, now go to users image, sidebar.js. Okay, now we want to pass this user in all the pages. So for that, we are going to use props. So current user is equals to user. Similarly for chat page also, current user is equals to user. Now go to home page, home.js, import that current user here, current user, and pass this current user to sidebar. This is bad practice. Here we are going to use React Context API, but I will cover that topic in another video. So current user, pass this prop again to sidebar and save it. Now go to sidebar, here import current user, and instead of this user image, we are going to pass current user dot photo url and save it. Now you can see here our image is appear. That's it guys, this is our logging functionality for our WhatsApp clone. Now now for logout, now for logout we have to create that function inside this app.js. So whenever we click on this image button, we sign out. So for that, create a function named sign out and auth dot sign out. After that, then we have to set user to null. We have to initialize, means we have to set this user to null, and we have to remove our user from local storage. So local storage dot remove item named user, and after that catch error alert error dot message. Now we have to pass this. Okay, we have to import auth here from Firebase and save it. Now we have to pass this sign out function to all the pages. So type sign out is equals to sign out what's wrong here. Okay, similarly pass to home page also and save it. Now go to home page, import it here, sign out, pass sign out to sidebar, sign out is equals to sign out, go to sidebar.js, sign out. Now whenever you click on this image, it sign out and save it So click on this button and you sign out. That's it guys, this is the logging functionality in our WhatsApp clone. And also one thing, as you can see here, our users data are going to be stored in this database. So wait a second, it refresh, and you can see the users collection. Inside that there is an doc name of having the email address, and inside that doc all the user informations are going to store. That's it guys, this is the authentication in our React. This is the basic authentication and it is not highly secure. This is low secure app. So now we are going to set up our chat page like this. As you can see here, whenever you search the particular user, you can see here, you can see the particular user's ID are appear on the URL, and that users will appear in this chat page. So for that we have to work with search functionality here like this, and then we have to use params of react router DOM. Now, so first of all we have to work on it on a search functionality. So for that we have to grab all the user instead of the current user that logged in, which is logged in from the database. So for that we are going to use here, for that, so first of all we have to create a state here for the users, all users, and set all users is equals to use state and the import use state. First of all, so I import it and provide initial value to an empty array because all the users are stored in the array. Now after that, here we are going to use a new hook called use effect. Basically use effect is used to perform background actions like fetching data, work on the APIs, etc. So for that we are going to use here use effect, and use effect has a callback function here. So provide a callback function and an empty array. Basically this is the dependencies. So if you want to change or run the use effect, you have to provide here dependencies. If the dependencies are empty array, if we put empty, it initially re-render the component. Okay, now provide functions inside to grab data from our database. So for that type create a function name const, okay, get all friends, okay, all users, sorry, all users async. This is a asynchronous function, async, sorry my mistake, okay, async, and then provide some here data const data is equals to await db. Here we are going to use the database, the db that we have created inside the Firebase app, firebase.js. So import it from there. Wait a second, it doesn't appear. Okay, manually, so import it manually. So you import db from dot firebase. Okay, now db dot collection, and inside there the collections named user, there our all the users are stored, where all our users are stored. Now we have to grab all that users. So for that we are going to use on snapshot function of Firebase. Basically on snapshot create a snapshot or take a snapshot of all the data inside these collections named user. Okay, so then we are type snapshot here, snapshot, and in here we are going to do console.log snapshot.docs, and you can see here. Now we have to call this. Okay, we have to import the use effect first of all here, and import it and save it. Now we have to call this use effect here, const use effect, sorry, call we have to call this get all user function. So get all user function and save it. Now you can see inside console the two user, means the array of two are appear here. Here they use here in the Firebase, like I, we have to see in Firebase, you can see that there is only two users, and we get all the our users here. Now we have to set this users array inside this all users array, means all users state. So for that we have to type set all users, but there is some twist here. We have to eliminate the current user that are currently logged in. So for that we are going to use here a filter. So snapshot dot docs dot filter and inside this docs means inside this snapshot there is a doc, means we have to check all the doc inside this docs array, and we have to check that doc.data.email is not equals to current user dot email. Okay, here so we have to eliminate that particular doc whose email is equals to current users dot email. Now we have now save it, and inside this use effect type console.log, type here users, and sorry, inside strings users, and type all users and save it. Now you can see here, okay, there is some problem occurs here. Save it. Why the two? Okay, we made a mistake here. Here data is a function, so provide parenthesis there and then save it, and you can again okay, we have to run this outside the use effect and save it, and you can see here there is only one user are there, which is this user PD Patel. Now we grab the users here. Now we have to work with the search functionality here. So first of all we have to grab the text which is typed inside this search box. So for that create a state here, const search input, then set search input is equals to use state and provide initial value as a empty string. Now go to that search text, means search input, and type value equals to search input, and then on change. So whenever the text inside this change, it set the search input accordingly as a e.target dot value and save it. Okay, now we grab the text. Now we have to work on filter functions. So for that we have to create here a const here, a variable name search user, and then all users all users dot filter, and inside that map to every user and check. So first of all we have to check there is some search input. So for that, if search input is exist, and then work on the search functionality. So now here we are going to search with the name only. So for that, type here user, means the user, and then data, means the data, and then we are going to work with the name also. So we have to check here the attribute of the full name. So here is the full name, so type full name here, and then we have to convert that full name into lowercase. So to lower case, and then check includes. Here is the include function which check whether the searched input text is present inside this full name. Understand? Wait a second, I make your understand. Okay, and then type console.log here user.data dot, sorry, here data must be a parent, have with parenthesis, and type full name and save it. Okay, now whenever you type here, so here is the empty string, so whenever you type here p, it appear here a Pradyuman, means here we type p, so inside search input there is a p, and the p includes in the full name, so it returns that full name. So I here if I type r, so r is present inside my name Pradyuman, so it appears. If I type z, it doesn't appear, so there is no change here. If I type m, so there is a 3 instead of this 2, so I type m, so you can see here there is a 3, means it appears here. Okay, understand? Includes the function which check whether this search input is present in this full name. Okay, now we have to, instead of consoling, we have to return the user here, so return user. Okay, now save it. Means here we filter, means here we filter the users with the text which type inside the search box. Now we have to convert that filtered user in the form of component. So for that, again we have to create a variable or variable and type search item. Search item. Okay. Now instead of all user, now we are going to use searched user. Search user. Search the user, and then we are going to map that, and inside that user now we provide return function here, and inside this return we are going to use a component called user profile, and now provide name equals to user dot data dot full name. Okay, sorry, small n, full name, and photo URL equals to user dot photo, sorry, user dot data dot photo URL, and save it. Now we return and we create a component, means we convert this search user in the form of user profile component. Now here we are going to use some logic. Now here you can see here, so whenever the searched means whenever the search item length here is stored in the form of the array. Now whenever the searched item length goes greater than 1, means searched item dot length greater than 0, then print searched item, and else we are going to print this user profile and paste it here and save it. Now you can see here my name is appear, and whenever I delete the text, okay, so whenever the input text appear, the user filter or the user searched, and then that search user converted into the profile user profile component, and then it appears on the screen. So whenever I type P, it appear. Okay, this is the first search functionality inside our WhatsApp clone. And here we are going to provide a key. So type key is equals to user dot id and save it. Okay, because it is very important, and save it. Okay, so our search functionalities works completely, and so now our search functionality is completely set up. Now we have to mm, navigate to that a particular user's chat page like this. So whenever I click on that particular user, it go to the that particular user's ID's chat page like this. This is the ID of that particular user. And when I click on the another user, it goes to that particular user's ID's chat page. And in our project, instead of this ID, we are going to use email ID. Now to use these functions in React, we are going to use a params here from React rooted DOM. So for that, first of all, go to app.js, and instead of this chat page, type colon email ID. Understand? Colon email ID. This is the param inside the URL. Now to activate this param, go to user profile. Sorry, first of all we have to provide here email. So type here email as a prop. So provide email as a prop here inside the search item. So type, so I already provided here like this. So provide email equals to user dot data dot email. Now I provided the email. Now go to user dot profile, and here create a function called go to user. So const go to user, and in this function there is a ID. So type email ID, and then if this email ID exists, then we have to navigate to, sorry, small n, navigate to we have to navigate to the ID. Okay, we have to use here tildes instead of apostrophes. So for slash, then dollar sign, and then provide ID here, sorry, email ID here, email ID, and then here we have to call this from here, type import user, use navigate, and create here const navigate is equals to use navigate and copy, save it. Now, whenever we click on this user profile, so for that type on click. So whenever we click on that user profile component, run this functions. So run this function with current email ID. Sorry, go to user dot provide this email here. So email and save it. Now search that particular user here. Understand? Search that particular user. I searched it, and when I click on that user, you can see instead of here the chat page, we get the email ID of this user. So this you can see here, we get the email ID here. Now we have to work here with we have to grab the user info of that particular user here. So for that we are going to use here, sorry, now we navigate to the chat page. Now we have to go to the chat container and grab the user current, means grab the current means particular user's informations for that particular chat page. So for that we have to grab that ID from the URL. So for that we are going to use params here. So import use param from React router DOM. So import use params from React router DOM and save it. Okay. Now type const and type email ID exactly same as this. Okay. So go to chat container and type email ID equals to use params and copy. Now whenever you console it, you can see here that we grab that email ID and save it. Now inspect console and you can see that the mail IDs appear here, email ID. Now we get that email ID. Now we have to grab that user's data having this email ID from the database. So for that we are going to use here use effect. So type use effect and provide callback function here with dependencies empty array. Now create a function const get, create a function named get user to grab the user here, that particular user with this email ID. So get user, create a async function and then const data is equals to await db dot db. Now we have to import that db from Firebase. So we imported it and db. Now we have to search the users from the user from collections named user, and we have to get the particular doc whose whose ID is this email ID. Okay, understand? We have to search the particular data, particular users whose ID is this email ID. Understand? So here you can see we have to search user inside these user collections having that particular email ID. Okay, now we have to take on snapshot and snapshot and take here or console.log snapshot dot data and save it. As you can see here, okay, we have to import the use effect first of all. And save it. Now refresh the page. Okay, we have to call this function first of all. So type get user and save it. So we call that functions to get. Okay, as you can see, we get that particular user with this email ID. Okay, now we grab that user. Now we have to store that user inside a state. So for that we type here const chat user and set chat user equals to use state, and this must be a empty object. As you can see, this is the object here. This is the object. Now we have to set this data inside this state. So type set chat user as a snapshot dot data. A snapshot is on snapshot goes inside this doc having this email ID and take a snapshot of that data inside this doc. Okay, and that snapshot is stored inside this chat user state. Okay, now instead of this image user.png, we are going to use here chat user dot photo URL and save it. As you can see, the user's image are appear, and similarly for name here, and type chat user dot full name and save it. As you can see, name is also appear. Okay, so there is some problem inside the chat page. So go to chat page. As you can see, our current user's image is not appear here. So we have to import it here, current user and sign out function as a prop that which provide here in app.js. Here current user and sign out. So we have to import it inside the chat page and provide to the current user and sign out equals to sign out and save it. Okay, our image is also appeared now. Now you can see here we navigate to that particular users and we grab that particular users information here and apply it to the chat container. Now we have to work with send message here. Means now we have to send that message to that particular user. So for that, go to chat container, go to chat container and create a function. So create a function here. So first of all, we have to remove these duplicate chats here and save it. Okay, now we delete that duplicate. Now we have to create a send function which send this message that we type here to database. Okay, so for that, first of all, we have to send that data message to the database, and after that we have to grab that messages from the database and display here in chat display sections. So for that, first of all, we have to send that message. So create a function called const send here, send. Okay, and provide. Okay, now we have to prevent refreshes here whenever we click on this send button. So prevent default prevent default to refresh, to prevent refreshes here. Now if this email ID is present here, so email ID is present, then we have to send the message. Okay, so for that, to send that message, for we have to create a payload here. Means we have to first of all design the structure to send that data to the database. So for that, create a payload here, variable name payload. So payload is equals to an object. Inside that payload there is a message which is equals to this message. So instead of message we type text. Okay, and in text equals to message, text equals to message, and there is a sender. Now here we have to provide sender's email ID, sender's email equals to, sender means the current user here, so type current. So we have to provide the current user here. So for that, go to chat page and provide current user to the chat container. So current user equals to current user. Save it. Now go to chat container, import that prop here, current user. Now we imported the current. Now type here current user dot email. Save it. Okay, we have to provide here e and save, then save it. Okay, now and this receiver's email ID also. So receiver email equals to the email ID, this email ID. So type email ID. Okay, and with this we are going to provide here timestamp. So timestamp equals to timestamp equals to Firebase. So we have to import Firebase here. So import Firebase from Firebase, and inside that Firebase there is a Firestore, and Firestore provide timestamp dot now. Okay, it stores the current time inside this timestamp. Okay, now we set the payload. Now we have to work on the now we have to see is this working or not. So type console.log and print payload. Save it. So now we have to attach that send function to this send icon. So whenever we click on this chat send button, so on click send, similarly form, so on submit, so whenever we press enter, it submit the answer or submit the with this send function. Save it. Now open console. Now type here hello, how are you, and whenever I click on, it gives the current it's print this payload here. So now we have to some descriptive here, type here payload and save it. So now click on that button and you can see it appears this object having the message, sender's email, receiver's email and timestamp. Okay, now we have to send this data to the Firebase. Okay, or database, our database. So for that we are going to use db here, db. So db.collections. Now we have to create a new collections named chats. New collection named chats. Inside that we are going to send the message. So here's some logic here, you can understand it first. So now we have to send this payload to both the users, so first is a sender, and then we have to send this payload to receiver. Okay, now we have to first of all send this payload to the sender. Now, so for that we have to create a collections named chats. Inside that we are create a doc having email ID as a sender's email ID, as a sender's email ID. To type current user dot email and then create the collections named messages, and inside that messages we are going to add this payload. Okay, okay. Now similarly for receivers, so for receivers email we are going to change it here as a email ID and save it. Okay, okay. Now whenever I click on this button, it send this data to that particular user's collections. So click on send button. Okay, it send the data, and now go to the Firebase and refresh the page. You can see here the chats collections are appear. Inside that chat collection there is both the users, and inside that both the user there is a messages collections, and inside that message there's a document of particular message having this data, receiver's email, sender email, and this data are going to both the users, both the users, like this, that data is also goes to this Patel Pradyuman and this also. Understand? Okay. Now we send that particular data here. Now here we are going to add some small things here. Now we have to create a friend list here. So as you can see here, there is a, so I send messages to this both the users, Darbindra Kumar and Pradyuman Patel, and this is the friend list. This is called friend list or recent list also, but I call it friend list. So now for that we are going to use here same strategy. We have to pass this payload to both the users, not similarly this payload. We have to provide add friends, add user to sender's friend list, means we have to stores each other information inside each other's friend list. Understand? So for that, db.collection called it friend list, and inside that friend list create a doc named current user, means this the friend list of this current user, means current user's email and current user's email, and create a collection called list of friend, and inside this list we are going to add the receiver's email id, add a friend as a receiver's name. So type here email id, and inside that doc we are going to set a object, as a email. So we have to add the informations of these users. We have to, so here the logic is this: we are going to add this user info inside this user as a friend. Similarly, we have to add this user's info inside this user's data, user's friend list as a friend. Okay, understand? It's little bit complicated, but it easily understand after practicing or after creating, after applying this to different projects. Okay, so type email as a user, sorry, okay, chat user, because we are going to store this user's email id, this Pradyuman Patel's email user's informations inside the current user. Current user means the current user which is logged in. Okay, so chat user dot email, full name, provide full name, so type chat user dot full name. Similarly, there is some mistake here, nothing there. Okay, and similarly photo URL, chat user dot photo URL, and the last message means the last conversation. So type last message is a message which is sent at the last. So message dot message, this is the last message. Okay, and save it. So we add the this user's information inside this user. Now we have to add this user info inside this users. Okay, so for that, again db dot collection, inside that there is a friend list, spelling is wrong, friend list, and inside that friend list we are going to add a doc having email, as this email id. Means we have to stores this information inside this users data, users doc. So type collection list and add the current user, add current user dot email, and set the object here having informations. So like email is equals to current user dot email, similarly name, full name, current user dot full name, and then photo url is equals to current user dot photo url, and a last message. Last message is a message, so we only message here. Okay, and save it. Now again we are going to, and then, and after sending this email, means sending the data, we have to set message as an empty string. So type set message is equals to empty string. So whenever I click on the icon or send the message, it clear the text field like this. Okay, there is some problem here. Unsupported field value undefined in. Okay, okay, spelling mistake here. So photo url and save it. So again I press hi, it empty and it goes to the users info also, and you can also see the friend list is also appear. Okay, why two objects are created here? Okay, spelling mistake here, I create misspelled here. So only friend list, and we have to delete this, both the friend list here, delete this collection, paste it, delete it, delete, delete. Okay, now again we send the message named hi, how are you, with emoji, with emoji, with emoji, with emoji, and send it. Okay, we send the emoji data to the Firebase, and you can see here the friend list is appear having, so Patel Pradyuman have this amount of friend and PD Patel has this amounts of friend, means these friends. Okay, having the last message, this is the friend list and this is the chats, and these chats are going to both the users. Current user means sender and receiver both. You can see here, hi, hello, how are you, hi, how are you, with the time. This is the timestamp. This is the sender's email, receiver's email, text. Okay, we send that data to the database. Now the main thing, now we have to grab the he grab these messages and stored. Now we have and stored in a state called messages state. This is the main. Okay, now we first of all we have to create the state here. As you can see here, this is the messages. Okay, so now type here message data, messages के message data, message data, set message, so messages is better, set messages data and messages data, set messages data is equals to use state, and this data is initially is a empty array. Okay, now we have to grab these chats from both the user, from the current user which is currently logged in. Okay, so here we here this is the PD Patel Pradyuman 544 at the red email ID. So we have to grab the chats from this email ID. Grab chats from this email ID. Okay, this is the current user which is currently logged in. So for that, inside the use effect, create a function named get messages. Get messages. Get messages. Get messages const. Okay. Now we have to grab the messages from the Firebase. So const get messages equals to async function. This is synchronized function, async const data is equals to await db dot collection name chats. We have to grab the chats from the current users, from the current users. Okay, we have to grab the messages from these users. Okay, from these, not current, from this user which having this email ID in URL. Okay, so for, and that URL is a email ID. Okay, dot, and here we have to order that data messages, order that data. Okay, we make okay barabar. Then collection and messages in messages, and then we have to order that messages according to the timestamp. So time stamp, okay, we have to check the spells. Okay, S capital. So type here S capital timestamp in ascending order. So type ASC to order all the messages in ascending order according to this timestamp. Now on snapshot we have to grab the messages like this. Let messages equals to snapshot dot docs dot map and stored inside this messages variable. We have to grab all the messages and store inside this messages variable. Local variable, not a state variable. This is local variable. And then doc dot data. Now we stored all the messages inside this messages variable. Now we have to filter the messages in which the receiver or sender must be both of these. Means receiver must be this or this, sender must be this or this. Means understand what I am going to tell? Okay, now create a new. Now we have to filter these messages. So new messages is equals to messages dot filter. So message in which message dot sender email must be current user dot email or this user ID, means this email ID. Understand? Similarly, or this is the logic, this is the sentence, or message dot receiver email must equals to this current user or this email ID. Okay, understand? Now we filter that messages and store inside this new message, and now we have to set the state variable to this new message. So for that, type set messages data, or we can say chat. Instead of this message, type chat messages. It's easy to understand. Type chat messages. Okay, now we have to set that chat messages as this new message and save it. Now we have to call this function get messages to get the messages here and save it. Okay, message filter. Okay, I misspelled the spelling. I think it's correct. So there is some problem here. Chats, email ID, messages. So type messages, chats, email ID, messages, and the chat. So what the error is? Yeah, yeah. Okay, here messages. Yes, save it. Now everything is good. Now save it. Now we get, oh, sorry, cancel. Now we get the message and set it. So for to see that messages, type console dot log messages and sorry, chat messages. So type here for messages equals to chat messages and save it. Inspect console, and you can see here messages are now appear. You can see hello, hi, hi. Okay, all the messages are now appear here. Now we have to display that messages here inside the chat display. So for that, we are going to use here a loop, a map function, So chat messages dot map type message equals to and provide a chat message here. Provide a chat message here. So open chat message.js. So here message time, we are going to here use sender and sender. Okay, and we have to pass the sender's information, sender's email ID also. So now provide this, so message prop, so message equals to message or text, tex, sorry, message.text, text, save it. You can see the messages are now appear. Now provide time. Now for time, for time provide message dot timestamp. My neck is now hurting. Provide timestamp and then go to messages, go to chat messages. Now we have to provide here a date function, a date object. So new dot date, provide time dot to date dot to local string and save it. So it appears with time. It appears with a time now. This is the copy paste from the documentations of date object, or you can also search on W3 School also. Now go to chat and now provide sender's info, sender's email also. So sender is equals to message dot sender email and save it. Now you can see here message goes but you cannot understand who is sending the oh, okay, again some errors are occur. What's the problem here? Okay, it's fixed now. Now you can see who is sending the message is not defined here. So for that, here you can see this is the send, this is the receivers, means this is the message that we send and that the message that we received here. So for that, we are going to use some inline CSS here, inline CSS here inside this chat message container. So type style and align self. So if we send the message, so if sender is the current user, then align chat message to the flexed end. So tick here like this. If sender, if this sender is equals to, if this sender is equals to the current user. Now here is the question, we have to provide the current user. Otherwise you can use auth from Firebase, auth dot current user dot email. So it provides the current user which is logged in. If sender's email ID is equals to current's email ID, then flex end. Otherwise, flex start. Now save it. Okay, and now save it. Okay, some problem here. There is some problem here. Again we type here align self, sender is equals to, if sender equals to auth dot current user dot email, then flex end, means if the sender is the current user, then flex end, else flex start. Okay, now you can see here all the text is go to the at the end of the screen. Now we have to change the color also here. So provide background color, so if sender is equals to auth dot current user dot email, then hashtag DCF8C6, else white color, means hashtag FFF, and save it. Okay, now everything is fine. Now check hi, it's appear here. Okay, now to check that, open ingredient mode, go to local storage, a local host, logging with Google. Next, I have to sign in here. Yes, it's me. Got it. It's going to be signing here. Now you can see here there is current user. Now go to that and you can see the chats are appear here perfectly. Now I send the message here. Hello, my name is Pradyuman Patel. Save it and you can see the messages appear here also with its manner. Okay, the messages are completely working. Now try emoji sums and send it. Now also, and you can see here, so whenever I send the message, it's not auto scrolling to the downside, not auto scrolling to the downside. So for that sorry, my mistake, open this. Okay, for that go to chatcontainer.js, go to chatcontainer.js. Here for auto scrolling, here we are going to use a different use effect. Now as you can see here, this use effect is changed, it's re-rendered when this email is changed. So for that here provide dependencies like email id and say, so whenever this email id change, all the data inside this or all these functions rerun, means these functions reruns. Okay, understand it, whenever this particular email id is changed. Now for auto scrolling we are going to use a use effect having different dependencies. So for that create a use effect, callback function and provided dependencies. So whenever the chat message array changes, then these functions inside the use effect going to be run. So provide dependency as a chat message. Now for auto scrolling, we have to use here use ref. I think yes, we are going to use here use ref. Use ref is a hook which stores the whole reference of any particular component inside a variable. Understand? Use ref is a hook which stores the informations of any component, whether it is input tag, checkbox, any button, anything. It stores that information of that particular tag or component inside a variable. For example, here we are going to use a ref here named const this chat box. We are going to ref this chat display inside a variable called chat box and type here use ref. This is the hook and we provide the initial value as a null and save it. Now okay, we have to import it, so import it. Now go to this chat display box, go to that chat display box or chat display container and type ref equals to chat box and save it. Now we provided that. For that you can see here, where is that is okay, here console.log message, sorry, chat box. So create this and type chat box and save it. Now open console and you can see here a chat box containers object having, you can say this is the div whose class name is chat display container. Everything inside this, every informations about that container is going to be displayed, is going to be stored inside this chat box variable. Okay, this is the use of useref. Now go to this use effect whose dependency is the messages. Inside that type chat box dot current, means that element, that div, that container, and inside that container we are going to use here event listener, add event listener type dom, and this is also from documents, so do not confuse it or do not take it seriously. Dom node inserted and type here event. Main thing is the use of useref, and then const current target equals to event, so event, and then target dot scroll to the top, target dot scroll height to the scroll height, and behavior gonna be smooth. Save it. It's compiling. Now check whether it's working or not. Type hi. It's working. You can see it's auto scroll to the bottom of the screen in both the, okay, I close the local host here. Now it's working. Now you can see here, so I type here hi. It's auto scrolling to the bottom in both the account. This is the working of WhatsApp. Okay, now the last thing and the main thing, whenever we send the message, it's appear in this friend list or recent list. So for that, go to sidebar. Now we have to grab that friends inside the sidebar. Grab that friends. So for that, create a function here, const get friends inside the use effect, and type, and this is a synchronized function, so type async and then const data is equals to await db.collection friend list. We have to grab friend list of current user which is currently logged in. So friend list dot dog the current user dot email, and we have to grab the all the friends inside the this email ID, this current user doc, and which is stored inside the list collection. Now on snapshot console.log snapshot.docs. Okay, now run the function here, get friends here, and save it. Open console, and you can see the friends list appear here. Now we have to store that friend list into a state. So now create a const friend list set friend list, and this list has initial value a empty array. Save it. Now instead of consoling, now set friend list and save it. So we set to the friend list. Now we have to map, instead of this simple dummy user profile, we are going to use here a map function. So friend list dot map friend, and then a user profile you can see here the user's profile appear. Now provide name equals to friend dot data dot full name and save it. So names appear now. Now provide photo URL equals to friend dot data dot photo URL and save it. Okay, photo URL is not appear here because refresh it again. So there is some problem here inside the photo URL functions. Go to user profile, photo URL, save it. Why the hell photo URL is not appearing here? Name appear, photo, okay, I have to search. Okay, I made a mistake, I think. Go to home, friend list inside that. Okay, I made a spelling mistake here. So type here read. Okay, we did not do that. So copy this link, delete it, and add a field. Type photo URL, paste it here, save. Similarly inside this also. So copy this, delete it, add a field, photo URL, paste it, add it. Now correct the that data inside chat container, send, and here photo URL, photo URL, save it. Now everything is appear complete exactly that we want. Now provide last message here. Last message equals to friend dot data dot last message. Okay, send it. Now here we have to import the last message, and if this last message exists, so if this last message exists, then this p tag is going to be appear here called last message having class name equals to user last sorry in user last message, and save it. Now you can see here the messages appear, last messages appear, last is a hi. Now we have to style that, so go to user profile.css and dot user last message is equals to font size 13 pixel, margin left 1 pixel, margin top 2 pixel, and color must be gray, and save it. So you can see the last message is appear now. Now save it. Everything is working fine now. So for that you are going to see here, go to both the functions. You can see the last message is here. Now type hello. So the last message is going to be changed here to hello in both the screen. If you pass emoji and then press an enter, and then you can see that emojis appear. So everything is working fine now, and if we search, it's appeared the different element. Okay, so chat functions are now completely ready. Now we are going to deploy this project into Firebase using Firebase. So now we are going to deploy our app to the Firebase using Firebase hosting functionality. So as you can see, so our app is completely ready now. So whenever you click on this user's profile, you navigate to that particular page. Okay, but here remember, provide email to every user profile component. Here I forgot it, so provide email here. So email equals to friend dot data dot email, then save it. Okay, now our app is completely workable here. As you can see, hi, so it's appeared there with time also. Now we are going to host our app. So for that, go to Firebase website, and then in project setting, in project setting, oh no, not a project setting, go to hosting. go to hosting and get started. Now you have to install these tools. So Firebase tool, so copy that and install it to our project. So I install it. Then click on next, and then we have to log in with Firebase. So for logging, you have to type this command in terminal. Then we have to initiate our Firebase project in command line. So it will open CLI, Firebase CLI inside the terminal. So wait for it to complete this process or to complete this installation process here. Now our Firebase tool is completely installed now. Now type Firebase login. Okay, Firebase login and press an enter. It logging with our current Google account. So yes, okay, I have to log out because this is my wrong email address, another email address. So I have to again log out, Firebase log out. And type again, sorry, type again login. Press enter, waiting for authentication. Click on this for email ID and then allow. This is Firebase CLI. So now we are logged in. Now type Firebase initiate to initiate the Firebase tools inside terminal. So type Firebase initiate and press an enter. So it initiate the tools, Firebase tool inside the command line. Okay, are you ready to proceed? To press Y. Now then go to hosting. Go to hosting, press space and then enter. Use an existing project and select the project that you want to build. So I type, this is my project name, WhatsApp clone 997DD. Then press an enter. Then type build here. Build. What do you want to see your public directory? Type build and then press an enter. Configure as a single page app. Yes. No. GitHub. No. And the Firebase is initialized. Now we have to run a build, means create a build folder, build of this project. So for that type npm run a build. This will build a entire project into a single folder. Okay, it takes some time, so wait for it. You can see here the build folder is now up here. Everything that we are created here, is going to be stored in a encrypted form, not encrypted exactly, but it is in a complicated form and it's stored in this build folder. Okay, so wait for it to complete this. After that you have to only type Firebase deploy after complete this build process. Now our build folder is completely ready. You can see here everything is are now up here with the index HTML, and here you are gonna see different things that we cannot understand. Okay, now after this process complete, type Firebase deploy and press an enter. So this will deploy our app to the Firebase and it gives us a URL when it finished. So deploying the hosting. Now our app is completely hosted. Now click on this hosting URL and you can see our app is now finally hosted. You can log in. You can now log in with any email ID. You can see messages are appear now. Everything is fine. Refresh it. You can see, okay, it's pretty much that thing. So it's appear. So go back, details. Is it the unsafe sites? Now you can see the chatties are completely work. Hi, it's working. It's going to the users. You can see here, hi. Okay, now our app is completely finished, hosted on Firebase. This is the link. I will provide the starter pack for this project with every images, logo in the descriptions, and also I will give the GitHub repo of this complete project in the description. If you like this video, please click on the subscribe button and like button and share with your friends also. Thank you for watching, guys.